right, guys, welcome to our Tuesday night Zoom. I'm super excited about this one because last week I had a list of people that I wanted to ask, and then I thought what I thought during this time, November, what our whole team really like needed to hear maybe in November. So I thought of Alma and Lauren. Lauren is the first person who joined me as a business builder. She's been with me since then. Thinking about how like just going through like seasons of change and ending the year strong and just consistency. Like we all know how much consistency, and I will say these two people through their changes and everything that they've done growth wise over this year, I know that they've stayed super consistent. Lauren had her third baby MK, and Alma, she has got a really great story too that I really think everyone should hear. Alma had a great story from when she started a long time ago, and then she's restarting her story again. So I'm super excited for both of them to share. So we're going to kick it off with Lauren. So, Lauren, if you want to go.
Hey guys, it has been a little while since I've been on here to talk, so it's nice to be back. I have been with Plexus for 6.5 years now, closing in on 7, and it's crazy. Just crazy how quickly that has gone by. I know Alma is going to be talking about more of like her product testimony a little bit, and so for me, I wanted to talk kind of more on the business side of things, and just like reflecting at the end of the year, if you haven't started thinking about this yet, like I'm pretty sure somebody posted today, there's only 41 days until Christmas, which means there's like 46 or however many until 2023 is done. And I remember starting this year and thinking like, oh my gosh, this year is taking so long to get rolling. And why is it still February? And then, oh my gosh, it's March and it hasn't even started warming up yet. And just having those feelings. And now here we are at the end of it. And so having time to reflect at the end of each year, I think is really, really important as you head into another year, but also realizing it's not too late to accomplish some crap at the end of this year. Like your goals are not lost on you if you have not gotten to them yet. If you haven't gotten around to them yet, if you maybe just like slow rolled it this year, if you had some personal things pop up, life happened to you, whatever the case may be, like it is not too late to go after the things that you want for your business this year and to feel good ending on a high note, even if it is just focusing on your productivity level. That's kind of for me what I'm doing. After like going through, I was literally pregnant the entire year. Like I found out in the middle of January. And so it felt like a very long year for me, leading up to having my baby. And then I wanted to at least take like a 4-week breather and try to step back from work to just enjoy a little bit of new motherhood again. Um, and so for me, like my focus to end this year isn't so much on like numbers, but for me, I'm just at least focusing back in on my productivity level, consistency, showing up, getting excited about business again, and just feeling positive about action steps. So whatever that might look like for you, whether it's goals oriented or if you maybe just need to set some intentions for the end of this year, that can look different for people. So you can have intentions to show up and work your business each day. And it doesn't have to be this like, I need to add 10 people this month or else situation. Also set yourself some like real attainable goals though. Write those things out. How do you want to finish this year? What do you want to accomplish? And what would help you feel really good going into 2024? What else do I want to talk about? I think just showing up in the peaks and valleys of business, that's been like a big thing for me, working this business through different seasons of life. Like it just is a lot different than having a full-time job when you know you have to get up in the morning and drive to your job and clock in, or else you're probably getting fired. It sometimes makes this business feel a little like optional. And when you start treating it optionally, it's easy to go through like an entire season of pretty much not showing up. And it's really important to remain as consistent as you possibly can, even if you're just like dipping your toes in at some points for like a month or two, but at least showing up in those seasons. And I think what I have found through different parts of my life, like when I first started, I was in new motherhood at that point. Brooks was like 5 or 6 months old, and now he's 7. And I'm doing this all over again. So I did it once through newborn phase, but I had like a totally different mindset because my motivators were different at that point in time. And so I'm guessing for you, whether you're like a year into this journey, 6 months into this journey, 6 years into this journey, the way that you're approaching your business is probably a lot different than what it was when you started. And although that can feel like sometimes a little bit of a battle to figure out what your motivators are, what your why is, like reconfiguring your approach to the business, all of those things, it's also a really beautiful spot to be in because you can totally reformulate who you are in your Plexus business. Um, you can figure out like how you want to promote yourself, how you want to brand yourself. You can figure out, you can kind of like refresh yourself in a way. And I think for me, that's like what I'm focusing in on at the end of this year is like, okay, how can I step back into my Plexus business, but also make it feel fresh, make it feel fun, get the excitement back in things, and just end on a high note so I can feel good leading into 2024. Um, and then just like bringing my team along with me. So no matter where you're at in your business, you have the ability to make an impact on your team just by showing up, just by getting in the chats, by getting on these calls, showing your face, doing the things that it takes with consistency, with passion, and just enjoy the ride, basically. That's all I got, Kim.
Thank you, Lauren. And I will say, like, Lauren, the reason why I wanted to highlight her this week is because obviously, as a new mother, I can tell through like the work that she's been doing that she's intentionally been carving out time because we all know new moms, they're like breastfeeding. Lauren said that it's been like a labor of love for her, but it's like I can tell she's intentionally carving out time to work her business in the little peak. And she has 2 other kids, she has a husband, like she's doing all the things, she's showing up to the gym. So it's like she can tell she's intentionally carving out time when she could easily just give herself the excuse of like, well, I just had a baby. I'm like, I got a lot to do. And, she does, but she's very intentional, I'm sure, with the small amount of time that she has every day. And she is doing the thing. So that's why I wanted to show that to you guys or have her speak on that, because I just feel like that's important because I feel like as we move through November and December, it is really important to carve out time because we can make up all the excuses in the world that, if we have family stuff, we have to do this, etc. And I feel it's a good thing. Lauren's a very good example. So thank you, Lauren.
Yeah. And I think that's like a really good point to touch on too, because this is something that Alma and I were just talking about the other day with a response to somebody like that had given her an excuse basically, and she even acknowledged it in her message back to Alma, and she was like, that probably sounds like an excuse, but I just don't have time to take something else on right now. And it was like almost like, how do I respond to this? And I said, tell her like, yeah, that's a BS excuse. Like, and I'm at least going to call you on it because you need somebody in your life who's going to tell you that and let you know, like, it might feel like it's one more thing you're adding onto your plate, but it literally will take you 30 seconds. And I know no matter how busy you are, you have 30 seconds of your day. So same thing to you guys. And like, this is kind of what I'm telling myself right now as I'm trying to juggle all the things is I might be super busy and it might feel super overwhelming, and day to day it's going to change, but I know I at least can find 5 minutes here and there. I can find a 30-minute window, even if that's while my baby is feeding from me. If I'm like scrolling my phone, I have the ability to show up and do something to move my business forward at least like 1% each day. And so try not to talk yourself out of showing up, even if you don't feel like it. The best way to get back into movement and into working your business is just to step into action to some degree each day. Okay, that's really all I got now.
You. For the second half of our Zoom, I really wanted Alma to share because she is truly an inspiration. She always has been a big inspiration in my life, and I know a lot of you guys who have watched her story, but she reignited her flame, and I'm telling you, I'm like beyond proud of her because I feel like people who have started plexus in the past, it's like very hard to like sometimes people just won't come back or they feel like they can't because they've gone too long without sharing. But Alma has like I've been beyond impressed with her and so excited for her even just with her health goals. Like she's taken everything to like a new level and it like she FaceTimed me at right 30 minutes before this and I was like, Alma, like you're back. Like you look great. She looks awesome. She looks happy successful, like everything. So Alma, take it away.
Hi, I'm so nervous. I haven't done one of these in a while. So yeah, my name's Alma. I have all my notes, but I feel like I'm just gonna cry because it already makes me emotional. So, um, if you don't know my story, in 2017, I was approached by Lauren and I wasn't ready, but I said yeah. So I ordered and I didn't take them. Um, mentally, I had mentally I had given up on life. Um, I was a people pleaser. I was eating my feelings. I was a binge eater. Um, three double cheeseburgers, two McChickens, 10-piece nuggets, a large fry, a large Coke, chocolate chip cookies, two apple pies, and on some days, a fish fillet and a McFlurry. And I just remember feeling like there was no hope. That was it. In May of 2018, I ended up in the ICU with pneumonia for 5 days. And I feel like at that point, it was like enough for me to realize like this is the direction that you're going. This is your life if you don't get it together. And I was considering weight loss surgery, but I was like, you know what, let me try this first. And so I told my husband, and he was like, okay. It was actually really funny because I started losing my hair, and that was like the thing that pushed me to be like, hey, Lauren, you got something? Because I'm losing my hair. It wasn't the fact that I had gotten up to 492 pounds. It was the fact that I was losing my hair. And I feel like it was that it was the visual for me. I don't know. It was just something about my losing my hair and being like that was the one thing I was confident in that was enough for me to start taking plexus serious. So in November of 2018, I started just taking it and there was something different. So on a random day in December of 2018, December 18th, I started going to the gym and it was enough of me feeling like crap and then knowing what it was like to feel great for me to just like commit to it. And so the supplements has not been the issue. I originally just wanted to be skinny. I wanted to not lose my hair. I just wanted to lose the weight. And I ended up losing 100 pounds in about 9 months. And that was fine. But there was so much else that I had to do, like behind the scenes, because it wasn't all about weight. Um, it was definitely about like finding myself and like figuring out like who I wanted to be and get rid of like all the other stuff that I had heard about myself and just like years of feeling like unworthy as a human. So I ended up dyeing my hair blonde to try to find that like missing piece that would make me happy. And that wasn't it. So I was struggling with my marriage and I realized that I wasn't the person that he had married, but I didn't know who I was. And so I feel like my story with plexus is like it's like physical, it's mental, it's like how I felt, but it's also the gym. But yes, it's losing weight, but it's also gaining this like ridiculous community of people who don't know me and some do know me that just continue to support me and hype me up to get me to where I want to be. And that definitely helped me figure out like who I wanted to be and like get me into that direction. And it was a lot of work. It continues to be a lot of work, but I just feel like day after day, month after month, like I feel like I'm like finally becoming who I am.
And I love it because now it's no longer tied to the weight. It's it's more than that. um there have been such waves of commitment or lack of commitment to the gym and to my business. But I think that the only constant that I've had is the supplements and the community. And those two things have been life changing. And so I just want to encourage you, like whoever it is that you're talking to, if it's for a person who's struggling, like they're probably mentally done. Like they're going to need your encouragement and your checking back up on them and being like, hey, like, how's it going now? Like, I'm sure things haven't gotten better. And usually they just get worse. And so now that I think about it, like, I should be doing that when I'm reaching out to people because I understand. Like, when Lauren reached out in 2017, I wasn't ready. And had I said yes, maybe I wouldn't have ended up in the ICU, but you never know. So the people, they just have to be ready. With these waves of commitment, I lost weight, gained weight, lost weight, gained weight, but I was still consistent with my triplex. And I'm just thankful and grateful as someone with PCOS, like just to be able to continue feeling good about myself, good enough about myself to like not revert and go backwards. That has been life changing. And then COVID hit, you guys, and that was tough. And then COVID ended. And my husband was like, hey, I want to start a landscaping business. And I was like, okay, go ahead, do that. Like, good for you. Not realizing like that was going to require me and my attention in my life. So I work full time and help him with our landscaping business. And so I'm busy. But someone said to me, like, maybe that is the thing that like Plexus gave you was the ability to like feel good enough to do a full-time job, to help, build a landscaping company, to do all these things because prior to Plexus, like never, I could barely get myself out of bed. And so just wanting to lose the weight fast, that is just not sustainable. Everybody knows it. We all know it. But I don't know why when I first started, I was like, just fast weight loss. That's what I want. And now I don't want that. Like now I appreciate the slowness and the ability to like relearn. And right now, like I feel great. Like I'm actually on day 2 of my reset. And I love these things because it is just so good for my mental like fortitude, like to be able to like work out my like mental strength that I know I have. But prior to Plexus, like I could not say no to food. Like it didn't matter how full I was. Like I just kept, I don't know what it was. It was definitely something that was like shameful for a second, but I was like, that wasn't that wasn't all me. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't, but I just felt like I had no self-control. And now with like reset, being able to not consume anything but what is inside that box, like that's hard. It's hard, but it's not because like I can say no to food now and I don't have to eat it. And it's like so liberating, but it's like a challenge, right? Like I was just thinking like if you never allow yourself or if I never allow myself the opportunity to do hard things, like I would keep believing that I couldn't. So like if you don't allow yourself the opportunity to do hard things, like you're going to keep thinking that you can't. And isn't that crazy? Because like when we're in our comfort zone, we just continue to do the things that we love. We just continue to do the things that come easy, the things that we know. And so it's like we need to continue to challenge ourselves. So these resets, I love them. Day 3 is the worst, but it's honestly so awesome. So right now I'm just back in the gym trying to I just want to be strong. Like I'm just so excited to like keep going. And the gym is just like a little bit of therapy for me and I love it. And so I'm just back. I mean, I never really stopped taking the products, but I just want to share like a little piece of hope because now that I look back, like that's what I was looking for. Like I was looking for someone to like stand in my corner and just like tell me like I can do this. But obviously they weren't going to be able to do it for me. And so like that is what I'm super grateful for. And not only for Lauren for like really just like telling me like you can do this, but like the entire community that I've been able to find because of Plexus. Like, y'all are awesome. And I feel like there's so many people that need to hear that. And I just need to like keep reminding myself that. So I'm jumping back in with the business because I want time freedom. That's like really freaking scary. But like, I want time freedom. And I want to be able to like build my business with my husband and not have to worry like, oh, if we don't, you know, I mean, not that we would have a bad month because hello, we're gonna kill it. But that's what I want. So I'm jumping back in and I'm trying to just share the goodness of Plexus and my story with everybody. So whew, did not plan on crying that much, but I kind of forgot how far I've come. And so I'm really grateful. So that's it, I think.
I don't know if you got a chance to look through the comments, but you should. There were so many people that said that they've missed you and that your gym post inspires them. Like, Alma, we like glad that you're back. I'm so glad you're consistent. Like, I'm so glad that you're back to sharing. I'm truly just happy, and I'm happy that you came on tonight to share. What I love most about Alma too is that she's not using the excuse of like I'm waiting till January. I feel like a lot of people are like having that excuse. Last week too, I went through my back office and I went through because I was trying to find people who want to do, you know, a reset after Thanksgiving with me, one more to end the year. And the majority of those people, and I messaged potentials, people were like, it's the holidays. I think I'm gonna like wait. And so I was like, and I'm like, all these people are just waiting until January 1st. So I end up like, you know, responding to them and saying like, why wouldn't you want to start now? I mean, I know like Thanksgiving, you know, everyone wants to eat a lot of food, but I was like, why not just start like now? There's a whole month in between Thanksgiving and Christmas. And like, it was kind of crazy because most of them didn't have like a good reason. And I feel like that's so they're like, let me get back to you. Like, it was like one of those really good where I didn't like challenge them or say like, oh yeah, you're right. It's the holidays. Let's wait till January 1. But I feel like I'm kind of telling people like, why would you wait? Like, what's the point of waiting? Like, what are you so busy with in December that it's like, nope, can't work on my health. Like, so, but that led me into just to end this today is that, or like, so today, this morning, I literally wrote down a huge, like a list of like what were like my excuses lately because I was watching everyone else have excuses why they can't get started. I feel like health wise, I feel great. Compared to how I felt over the past 3 years. I've lost a lot of weight using resets. I think my mental hasn't caught up with that, but I wrote down a list of it in my business, and I highly suggest everyone who's listening, if you're like struggling or if you're just like not sure why you're not showing up the way you want to, I wrote down a list of excuses why I haven't been showing up the way I should or what I should be doing. And there were 17 excuses that I had. There were literally excuses, you guys. So I took that list and I like, you know, I read it through and I was like, which ones of these are actually like reality? I will say out of the 17, there was 9 that were my own negative mindset talk that I actually crossed off. I felt like after I crossed this off and I was like, that's just me saying those things. I was like, wow, that block is like lifted. I would say maybe 3 of them were like actually reality of like maybe why I couldn't, but also didn't mean that I like shouldn't be. But honestly, looking at the list and then like crossing them off and then realizing like what I was telling myself or what I was telling just like doing for myself, I was like, this isn't doing me anything good. But just looking at it and crossing it off, it's just like those people that, so I highly suggest if you're watching the recording or if you're on tonight, make that list tonight and then just go through and cross them off. And you might have a couple that are still there. I still have a couple that I was like, yeah, I get that. That's valid. But it really made me more self-aware of like what was actually going on rather than like me just in my head. So if you are at that point, and I kept telling myself, oh, like one of them was like, it's the end of the year, it just gets slower. There's no reason to say it. Like, you know what I mean? That's just like something we say sometimes just to like avoid things. But anyways, that's all I have. I am really appreciative of you, Lauren and Alma. I'm appreciative of you all you guys that got on. I don't know, Emily, do you have anything left?
We we are wrapping up No Gain November. So this is our final week to get our 10,000 steps a day for those of you that are participating. Team wide, we're doing a reset in that group the 27th, 28th, and 29th after Thanksgiving, which will roll into the December 10,000 steps a day challenge. And we have new content by Diamond Andrea Derrick with like super chic, beautiful story slides. Everything's like so good. She did such a great job. And we're going to use her content for that just to change it up from the last 2 challenges. So for those of you that are wanting to make the comeback, like Alma and Lauren, you're just like, I need, plug me in, put me in, coach, right? Like, this is your way to do that. And to get, people love a good 10,000 steps a day challenge. People like tracking things. They might like making lists. And so we've had really great success of enrolling new VIPs with Slim, Active, and Metaburn, or the Weight Loss Basics combo for these challenges because of the protein intake and then getting that Slim in every day. And people are loving it. We're giving away prizes every day. There's diamonds that pop up and go live in there. It's just fantastic. And we're all learning a lot, and it's really encouraging. I think we have over 1 million steps as a group, which is like insane. So if you're looking for somewhere to plug yourself in, that's what we're doing. And Black Friday is next Friday. Jewels that are on, we have a Zoom tomorrow to get the 411. So get on that call tomorrow. And then team, y'all will find out soon enough. It's going to be epic. And we will see you, if you can, Friday at noon. We have a coaching Zoom at 12 Central Standard Time. But that's it. Thanks for being on, everybody. Thank you, Kim.
Thanks, Lauren. Thanks, Alma.